is the MSG Plus High School Lacrosse Game of the Week, outfitted by the Lax Hut. Rochester, New York means one thing. The New York State High School lacrosse season comes down to this, the Class C final. Our number 3 team out of Section 8 come the Indians of Manhasset, taking on the Lancers of Lafayette out of Section 3. Well, good to see everybody. Jimmy Cavallo, our entire Lax Hut Game of the Week gang, and welcome to the New York State Finals. Did you think we'd let you down after such a high school lacrosse season like this? We have taken all 25 members of our MSG Plus crew to Rochester, New York to bring you these finals. Alongside of the ride, my partner, the former Syracuse All-American. He won 3 titles as a member of the Yorktown Huskers, Paul Carcaterra. Carc, you've been here. You won this title. You know what it's like to come in here a favorite. When you look at these two teams, it's a rematch of a 2005 game in which Lafayette beat Manhasset by a single goal. But this is the game that has generated the most buzz this weekend.
I think so. Very intriguing matchup. I look at Lafayette, a bunch of offensive wizards on their 6-on-6 set. Manhasset, a team with depth and discipline. A great matchup.
Take a look at some players in this game. We'll start with Manhasset and their marquee guy, Connor English. You know, if you thought Connor English was a one-dimensional guy before he headed off to Virginia, you changed your mind in his senior season.
Well, his first couple of years at Manhasset, he was known for that lefty outside shot. He really has a complete game right now. This is where he's most effective. He changes direction at X, and he's a topside dodger who still loves his left hand. He stretches the defense. He garners so much attention from the defense's opposition that his other teammates step up and get involved, and he's really the trigger man for Manhasset.
What a special season for Connor English. Look at the points. Don't worry about the point totals. This guy's only played 3 quarters in a lot of their games. Connor English, what a ride he has given the Indian faithful before he heads off to Virginia. And now over to Lafayette. Boy, a championship program. They got championship players all across the board. You look at this roster card filled with guys putting up huge numbers. But the one guy they talk about is the senior midi, John Greeley. He just might be their best all-around player.
Well, he might be just the best player in all of America. In 2008, Johns Hopkins lost one of their all-time great midfielders in Paul Rabel. This guy plays a similar mold. He can get down the pipes. He shoots on the run probably better than any player in all of America. He's a lot like Rabel in terms of his size, his strength, and his speed. This kid is borderline unstoppable.
What a year for John Greeley, headed off to play for Coach Petramala at Hopkins as he comes in today with his Section 3 Lancers. The Lancers roll into Rochester with a perfect 23-0 record. So it all comes down to this in Class C. 48 minutes of lacrosse. Manhasset, Lafayette. Only one will be a champ on MSG Plus. Store. Great deals, outstanding service with 3 stores on Long Island, Huntington, Massapequa, and the all-new Lax Hut in Freeport. Contact them on the web at www.thelaxhut.com. And brought to you in part by Melrose Credit Union. Melrose Credit Union, you can get there from here. And by the End Zone, Long Island Super High School Sports website, and it's only on Newsday.com. And by CheckMySkills.com. CheckMySkills.com, the new age of high school sports recruiting. And the rights to this broadcast have been granted by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, representing the high schools in New York State. Any rebroadcast or republication of the programming without the written consent of MSG Media is strictly prohibited. Jimmy Cavallo, Paul Carcaterra, time for the New York State Class C Final. She'll be around all day long on the sidelines. Check in with Maggie Gray.
Jimmy, thanks so much. Well, another reason why this game is so anticipated is there were no upsets in the previous rounds of the Class C division. Manhasset is number 1 in the state. Lafayette is ranked number 2. And what Coach Bill Cherry of Manhasset told me is he's telling his team they deserve to be here today. It is not a fluke that they've made it to the New York State Final. What he also told me is, in his opinion, the toughest round to get out of is the county tournament because the two teams are so familiar with each other. He's calling the state finals the great unknown. They get very few scouting opportunities and very limited tape on each other. Said it's all about making adjustments on the fly and maintaining your poise through this game. Jimmy?
Yeah, make no mistake about it. Coach Cherry told Maggie and myself last night he knows Lafayette is the best team they have seen all year long. Coach Cherry celebrating nearly 30 years with Manhasset, the last 3 as their head coach. And for the Lancers of Lafayette out of Section 3, What a ride for Mike Reese, also in his third year. He brings Lafayette into this game with a perfect 23-0 record. Out of Tully High School in 1988 comes Mike Reese. He got his first section title this year as the head coach. Two guys who will be in between the pipes today are Laxa keepers. Jack Meyer, the senior, the captain. Great year for Jack Meyer. 158 saves on the year. He's vocal, he is big time, and he will be going Ivy League very soon. And for Lafayette, Chris Kleiber, the junior goalie, first year on varsity. It's plain and simple. If he sees it, he saves it, says the coach. The junior goalie has led his team to a perfect season with one game left. Well, you see our players out in midfield here. Rochester, New York, home of the Rochester Rhinos of the USL Professional Soccer League A Division. What a venue, Kark. As you saw the kids walk onto the field today, they were taking it all in. They know they have a great location to play a state championship.
Oh, facility-wise, it doesn't get much better than up here in Rochester for a state championship. You could tell when the kids walked into this stadium, their eyes lit up.
There's a good look at it. So the New York State High School lacrosse season in Class C has come down to this. 4 quarters to decide who's the champion, and we are underway on the Locks Up Game of the Week on MSG+. Right away come the Lancers of Lafayette. Loose ball on the interior. And here's a whistle. Interference. It'll go over to Manhasset.
One of the biggest matchups of the day will be Lafayette's Lyle Thompson facing off against Manhasset's Ricky Burr. Burr was 16 for 19 in the state quarterfinals.
Manhasset with an opportunity and a goal. Drew Bolitsky, the junior midi, gets the scoring underway, and the UPenn-bound Bolitsky goes top shelf for our first goal in the state final.
Great time to dodge for the junior Bolitsky right off a restart. Quick whistle. Kind of catches Lafayette off guard. Runs by, and that's a save that Klaber really should make. Stick side. But the move by Bolitsky, a nice, really shifty touch-and-go type move. Faked like he was going down that right alley to give himself plenty of room to operate with his left hand.
Bolitsky, just an outstanding athlete, and just a junior. Quarterback on the football team. So now Lafayette. Trust me when we tell you, folks, you will hear from this offense in this game. They can score. Little Bulldogs on the inside. And that shot goes wide. Off the stick of Miles Thompson. A beast of a junior is Thompson. His next goal, folks, will be his 100th of the season. Are you kidding me, Kark?
Yeah, those are incredible numbers, and we're not talking about competition for Lafayette. He's not playing in Kansas. Upstate New York is a top-tier type league. Lafayette plays Skinny Atlas, and to get to this state championship playing teams like Penn Yan certainly been tested. The numbers that Thompson has put up this year are remarkable.
Here goes Miles now. Thompson works the interior. Low shot down low, but Jackie Meyer sees it all the way, and he's got his first save in the Class C final. Quick outlet now onto the stick of Ricky Bayor. Off the ride, Manhasset and Bayor will get it clear, but now they turn it over.
Well, they're going to get Lyle Thompson on a chesting right there, clearing the ball just for that short little second. Puts the head of his stick against his chest. Give Manhasset an offensive opportunity here.
Glenn Tompkins now. Turns it top side. And up onto the stick of Jeff Izzo. Now to the cage, opportunity. This one is off the keeper. Now chasing it down is Zach Koufakis.
A nice move by Connor Inglis there. He sold behind to really get that Lafayette defense to commit to his right hand.
Koufakis, little pass in front, and it's handled by the keeper, Kleiber. Kleiber now on the outlet. Derek Bennett now gives off. Here's Lyle Thompson, the other Thompson in this bunch. And now Lyle takes a look at this offense. Lyle Thompson, just a sophomore, has had a huge year. John Greeley now.
Contrasting styles for the Thompson brothers. Lyle, the junior midfielder, really a two-way guy. Faces off, plays offense, defense in their clearing game. Miles Thompson, the attackman, more of a finisher.
Triple team on Thompson this time. And now the battle for the ground ball is on. So good collapse by that Manhasset defense. And we've got a kick on the stick by Manhasset, so Lafayette will maintain possession.
Take another look at this replay here.
Now off the ground ball. Here comes Manhasset now on the move. It's Belinsky once again. Gives off to Koufakis. And Zach will settle it down onto the stick of Tompkins.
You know, if you look at this matchup, 3 or 4 of Lafayette's most skilled players, some of the best in all of the country. I think depth, though, certainly, Jimmy, favors Manhasset. I mean, they could throw 2 midfield at you. A lot of good, seasoned athletes, two-way guys from Manhasset. Guys like Belinsky, guys like Molinari. If they get into a running match with Lafayette, I think that really favors the Indians.
Yeah, we will see how that plays out, Carr. Now on the move is A.J. Diaz. Diaz turns it to the backside, and here's Connor English now. Quick stick in front. Oh, what a save by Kleiber as he matched sticks with Kevin Heenan on the doorstep. They're all big. Now on the pole with an opportunity. A little too far, and it's going to be a turnover. Picked up by Manhasset. This ball then thrown up for grabs. In turn, another ball thrown up for grabs, and it's off white. It'll go to orange, but watch Kleiber here, Carr.
Yeah, this is a great save by Kleiber. Playing his angles, he's on that pipe. Stick on stick with Heenan.
So Fairfield bound Matty Rubertone, number 48 in orange, with the ball on his stick. He'll play it back to his fellow senior Jack Meyer, and Meyer will bring it up. Meyer now takes a look and says, why not? Here's Meyer now into the offensive end, gives it off to Maroney. And Maroney, just a junior.
Yeah, you look at Jack Meyer, his senior year. Didn't come into this season as one of the most heralded goalies on Long Island, but he finishes as one of the tops. I mean, he's been lights out all season for the Manhasset Indians. Been a huge X factor, especially in their bigger games. He's played his best.
Zach Koufakis to the cage, and a kick save. Going down to get it was Kleiber, but Koufakis will draw a flag. But again, Chris Kleiber saves a goal right here. It was a good one, Carr.
Nice inside move by Koufakis. And he draws the push with possession. Lafayette 30 seconds coming up on the man down. Just a good inside move there. You know, Lafayette had no choice right there. Shane Fox had to push Koufakis. Well, that could have been an easy goal for the senior attackman.
Now Maroney. Up top he goes to Jeff Molinari. And the referees will blow the whistle as our clock did not start. So they'll sort it out. coming up on the halfway mark of this first quarter. Only one goal on the board. It belongs to the Indians of Manhasset out of Long Island, Section 8. Now Jeff Molinari. Molinari gives off to Connor English. English with a shot. And it looked like the keeper, Kleiber, was on that one too.
Looked like English was off balance when he shot that. Like his foot might have been caught in the turf. That's his range, though. He can spray it from about 10 to 12.
Molinari fakes off now. Off to English. He gets his hands free on this one and puts it home. Connor English lets one rip. And the Virginia-bound senior makes it 2-0 on the man up. He let it fly.
Well, Jimmy, I just mentioned that's his range. And if you're Lafayette, you have to press out to number 11. Time and room, no one on his hands. I mean, I know on Long Island, Connor English gets a lot more attention than that when he's man up. If you're Lafayette, identify the shooters for Manhasset. And in this case, 11 makes them pay.
Yeah, English really spent the offseason working on his right hand. So you know that if he gets that left hand free, that's dangerous city. So Lafayette now gets a possession as they trail 2-0. Now backing off with the ball as David Printup. And now a turnover. And here comes Manhasset once again. Kevin Heenan. Heenan now gives off to Belinsky. Belinsky with an alley fires this one up and over the cage. English is backing it up. So Manhasset will keep the ball.
That was good defense by Lafayette's Derek Bennett on that last second before Belinsky tried to shoot. He was there all over the hands.
So a crease violation now on the rush by Connor English. And that'll turn it over. But Connor English, All-American. He has grown year in and year out. 3-year starter.
3-year starter and leaves Manhasset as one of the most prolific goal scorers in school history. One of the best attackmen ever to play for the Indians as well.
Look at this clear onto the stick by Thompson. Numbers here for Lafayette. This shot knocked down inside. So great defense. And it'll go to Manhasset. Jack Meyer and company doing the job.
Another look. Right off the clear. Lyle Thompson in the clearing game feeds it to his brother. And Manhasset defense has been stingy all season long. And you know what the interesting thing about Manhasset? The storied tradition and the pride of that program, really only the 2 state titles, Jimmy, 95 and 2004. You think of some of the all-time greats. The Denahan brothers and John Gagliardi, Peter Jacobs. The list goes on and on.
How about that 2004 team, Carl? Chris Kaiser, Gavin Petracca, Matty Bitter, Cullen Molinari, Chris Finn, Matty Sutherland, Mike DeMeo. The list goes on that legendary 2004 team that beat Penn Yan to win a title.
I remember watching in 1995 that Manhasset high school team with Connor Denahan and Dan Denahan, Tim Gettleman. They had 7 or 8 Division I talented players on that squad when they won their first title.
There's Koufakis now, working from the X, up top to Molinari. Quick pass, loading up is Connor English, and you can only hope to slow down the Virginia-bound All-American when he gets his hands free. Second of the day for Connor, and it is 3-0 Manhasset.
I mean, this kid can spray it. I've watched Connor English since he's in about 6th grade, and he's been killing teams with that lefty sniper shot. And if you're Lafayette, you better change your game plan and understand where number 11 is in that rotation on that 6-on-6 offensive set. It's a shooting gallery for
the NBA 360.
Back on the Laxat Game of the Week. Spectacular Rochester, New York, site of this New York State Class C final. 2 teams, Manhasset and Lafayette, who had to win some semifinal games to get here. This is Manhasset taking on Putnam Valley, and Connor English and company put on a show. English and Manhasset, they could have scored 30 in this one. Putnam Valley was up against it. Manhasset would roll into the state finals. Then on the other side, it was Lafayette taking on Penn Yan. Watch Nate go to work. Oh, Nate on the inside. Versavoy scores a goal. And then one of the aforementioned Thompson brothers. This is Lyle to the cage. Lafayette beats Penn Yan 10-6, looking for their first state title since 2005. And that 05 title came against Manhasset So, Clark, we have a rematch today, and that was a game that ended on a final second goal by Lafayette. Off a wild scramble on a possession, they put it into the closing seconds, which brings us to today. Lafayette, this shot, up and over the cage. They'll take it. They have not had many good possessions here, Clark, in the first 10 minutes of this first quarter.
Yeah, they really need to get into their offense and get number 9, John Greeley, involved.
Miles Thompson now up top. Now swooping around the backside is Greeley. Greeley, not enough touches for a senior heading to Hopkins in the first 10 minutes of this game. James Turner now. Now onto the stick of Greeley once again. Greeley, big, imposing. At 6'3", and here he comes, number 9. Greeley now to his right hand, backs it off. Now Greeley will turn back to his left, looks to free up his hands, gets a shot on Cage, and standing his ground was Meyer. A good hustle on the backside, but we're going to have a push on Lafayette, and he'll turn it over to Manhasset as once again, Jack Meyer standing tall.
Yeah, that was a nice move by Greeley. But Jack Meyer, I mentioned before, this kid has been lights out all season long for Manhasset. I don't know if I agree with that push they nailed Greeley with right there.
Yeah. He has grown up a goalie. His dad, JB, a keeper at Virginia. So you can imagine Jack was in between the pipes as soon as they got him on his feet. Like father, like son. Also an outstanding student, Jack Meyer, 3.6 GPA.
The ball movement for Manhasset will be pivotal. Lafayette continues to stay in a zone defense, forcing Manhasset to work the perimeter, quick passing. You want to change your sets if you're Manhasset too. Right now they're in a 3-3, 3 up top, 3 across. We're seeing it right now. They're going into a 1-3-2. This is a great move by the coaching staff of Manhasset. Change formations.
This one goes outside the box, so final 15 seconds. The Indians did what they wanted on this possession. They will take the first quarter with them. They'd love to get a goal here to end it. To the cage. This one bounces off the crossbar, but we have another crease violation as Heenan got in too tight. Or was it Belinsky? It was Drew.
Belinsky just tiptoeing right here on the crease. Runs out of room and looked like his right foot at the last stage of that dodge stepped in the crease.
Well, after 12 minutes, it had to be a bit of a humbling quarter for Lafayette and all their All-Americans, because the guys in orange have given the guys in white plenty to think about as we head to the second quarter on the Lax Hug Game of the Week. It is 3-0 Manhasset on MSG+.
Heritage.
Oh, yeah, they are a lacrosse family. Their brothers Jeremy and Jerome could be on their way to Syracuse to play for your Orange Cark, and these two guys have had impressive seasons. You know, what a great family.
Incredible stick skills. I mean, you look at the players from the reservation. They really play that Canadian box style lacrosse, the soft hands, the finishing ability. You know, we talked about it last night, Jimmy. Their sticks are almost an extension of their body.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Lafayette graduate Josh Amadon as part of the Syracuse Orange is on the staff today, I believe, on the sidelines, I was told. So, coming together.
If you like Connor English's left-handed shot, you'd love Josh Amadon. The sophomore midfielder will be their go-to guy with all the graduating midfielders from Syracuse. Amadon shoots about 105 miles an hour with that left hand.
Pass to the interior, and this one just sails up over the top. So Drew Belinsky sneaking around the top of the crease and got a little quick stick that went up over the top of the bar. And Glenn Tompkins will run it down. So Manhasset now still with possession. Here they go once again. Jeff Molinari. Now to the X, and here comes Tompkins. Tompkins surveying. Molinari. Connor English now goes to work. English swoops inside. This one sails off the top of his stick. They will keep it here.
You know, at some point, if you're Lafayette, you want to force Manhasset to take some dodging chances. I think they're in the zone because they want to save their legs, though, Jimmy. When you're in that zone defense, you really preserve your win and give your offense more opportunities, like we're going to see right here.
Jonathan Storier, the pole, after the great stick check on the other side. But he gives it off. Here comes Manhasset now. Glenn Tompkins to Kevin Heenan. Right back in a goal. Glenn Tompkins, the senior attackman, puts it home. A great little two-man game. And it's 4-0 Manhasset.
Well, it's a stick check right here of Molinari. And then I think the flip of Belinsky. And just great ball movement, the give and go, and Tompkins finishes off a Heenan pass. What a pass, what recognition to force that tempo that they want. If you're Manhasset, you want to run. Lafayette's playing that zone defense. They want to play the 6-on-6 set, offensively and defensively. Manhasset forcing tempo with transition.
Well, that's our Melrose Credit Union assist of the game. Kevin Heenan heading off to UPenn. He's the recipient of that. Congratulations, Kev. Melrose Credit Union, you get there from here. We're drawing the foul now on the inside. Good save by Meyer. But the strength of Miles Thompson backing his way down. And he will draw a penalty. So Lafayette will go on the man up. This is a good battle here.
You're seeing the back end right there of Thompson. Great speed. And look at the save by Meyer. Offside high. I mean, you can't ask anything more from your goaltender right there, because they threw a flag. It was a free play for Lafayette. That ball goes in. It's a goal.
Well, Lafayette's got a problem because number 44, Kark, is locked and loaded right now. They got to do something to get Jack Meyer off his game. He is setting the tone defensively. There are going to be no easy ones against Jackie Meyer in this game. That's the way it looks through the first 15 minutes of this first half. So now, man up for Lafayette to the interior. This pass is going to go out of bounds. And that's a turnover the Lancers cannot afford right now.
Well, that was a play right there. You saw Lyle Thompson almost with a no-look pass. Probably thought the way that play normally develops, there's someone on that backside, on the left side, to catch it and get a high percentage shot, because the ball movement was there before that turnover.
So Mike Reese, 16 years in the program, third year as head coach, 62-6 in his 3 years. His team has been decorated, though. They won that title in 2005, as we mentioned, against Manhasset. They beat Somers in 2003. There's Manhasset now. Opportunity, and it's in again! Glenn Tompkins with his second, and the senior attackman with back-to-back goals for his Indians, and it is 5-0 for the guys in orange out of Long Island.
Glenn Tompkins, every state championship or any title run, a senior leader needs to emerge. And you're seeing Tompkins and English right now with the 5 goals for Manhasset, 2 seniors. Smelling the victory here in the early stages, knowing they're so close for getting their school's 3rd state championship.
Yeah, Lafayette, Kark, has got to make some adjustments defensively, because you can't blame the keeper, the junior goalie, Chris Kleiber, on that one. I mean, you saw that replay. Glenn Tompkins has got room to set his feet. He's got opportunity to pick his spot, and he was able just to crank and fire point blank. There has got to be some better support around the crease, because Bill Cherry's guys, they smell blood in the water now, and they are going for an early knockout blow, but still a lot of time. Only 8:50 here in the second quarter.
And what I'm impressed about Coach Cherry and his staff is the way that they're really dictating tempo here. I mean, they're really pushing their will on Lafayette. Lafayette is a team You get them in the 6-on-6 set offensively, they can really spell trouble because of their stick skills, their ability to move the ball. Defensively, they kind of had to resort to a zone. I mentioned earlier, they don't have the depth that Manhasset has to start getting some offensive production. It has to happen right off of these face-offs with Thompson.
Clark, you played on 3 title teams at Yorktown. You came in as a favorite many times. So Manhasset now off the face-off. And really, Lafayette, they haven't been in this situation where they've got a deficit. They're playing with some adversity. They got to sort of find their confidence in this game, because right now they're in uncharted waters for this season. This is a 23-0 team that hasn't seen a deficit like this all year.
23-0, used to putting up huge numbers, playing with the lead. So everything gets kind of turned upside down. You're losing your face-offs. You're not really getting high percentage shots. When you do, you're running into a red-hot goalie. That's a great ground ball and a stick check right there.
What work that time by Jonathan Story, the senior defender, heading to OCC. Here comes the Lancers now. Could this be the momentum? And the pass goes up and over the stick. That could have been a big one there to jumpstart him when the senior defender makes a huge play. But Greeley and company still looking at 0 in the scoring column.
That's a big boy right there. College-ready midfielder John Greeley. I thought he should have just continued with that dodge. Made the pass, a very unselfish play. But he was about 10 yards from the goal at that last offensive opportunity. He should have just continued with his dodge and let one rip.
Well, Manhasset, good break for Greeley and Lancers. Manhasset turns it over. Now Lyle Thompson. The sophomore gives it off to Nate Bursavoy. Nate Bursavoy, number 23, is in 8th grade on the field for the Lancers. Now Lyle will back it off, staring right into the eyes of Jeff Izzo. Izzo now checks him off. Thompson backs off. Thompson with that ponytail bouncing along the way. Now draws a double team. Looking to the inside. Big dodge, and it goes up and over the cage. Opportunity knocks. And Gay-New print up, didn't find it. And he's a finisher, Clark, too.
Yeah, almost 60 goals on the season for print up. It's a fabulous feed and recognition from Thompson. Gay-New print up has to finish that, especially when your team is really starting to falter here in the early stages of the second quarter. You have to get on the board, start believing in yourself. A huge opportunity right there for Lafayette.
And Printup had the goalie moving with the big fake. Just tough luck there for Gay-New. It sailed up and over the bar. And now the Indians with a 5-goal lead back on the offense. Molinari looking for his 4th assist, and he gets it. No, it's going to be waved off. On the crease was Koufakis. And that's a break for Lafayette, because that one was in the back of the cage.
Huge break for Lafayette. And what's really impressive right now is the vision of the midfielder Molinari. That would have been his 4th assist, as you mentioned, Jimmy. He's been feeding the ball extremely well. Kind of hard to see from that angle, but they called Koufakis in the crease.
Off the ride by Drew Belinsky. Manhasset not making it easy on any level for Lafayette. They're picking them up early. Now Greeley. Miles Thompson. Thompson now. Bulldog. Thompson. And he scores. The Lancers are on the board. The junior attackman with goal number 100 on the season. And Lafayette brings their crowd to their feet as they have scored their first goal in the Class C state final. And it was all Miles Thompson.
Miles Thompson right here. Getting to the top side. And you see the back end, Jimmy, right there. That is a pure box move right there. So much experience playing on the reservation, playing box lacrosse in those tight spots. These kids can shoot with pressure on them better than any high school players based on their experience playing the box game.
A huge stick check by Eamon Murray, the sophomore long stick midi. And he gives his Lancers a possession. It's the little things that get you going in the state final. Here comes Thompson once again now. I mean, a long stick midi just out there for a face-off, Clark, blows up the offensive possession and gives his team a possession that they desperately needed. To the inside, up and over the bar by Miles Thompson.
And if you're Manhasset, you really have to recognize the inside play of Lafayette. A normal stick check is not going to cut it in a game like this. These kids can play with the opposition pounding their hands and still get shots off.
Yeah, the Indians can be in no comfort zone with a 5-goal lead that's now been trimmed to 4. This is one of those offenses, folks. Now you could blink, and it'll be 5-all. Behind the back, look at this angle right there by Thompson. Driving to his left, puts it back over his right shoulder. Quickly, the Lancers back with the ball possession. Now Thompson, he's grooving now. On the inside, and it's a goal! Thompson to Thompson. Miles to Lyle, the junior to his sophomore brother. Number 58 on the season for Lyle Thompson. And Lafayette has cut the lead to 3.
See their father in the stands right now, 5-2. You hear the Lafayette crowd. And now they're starting to play their type of lacrosse, 6-on-6. A lot of picks in that inside. The vision of Miles Thompson, the finishing ability of Lyle.
Well, what they've gotten is they've gotten a little confidence back in their games. And the sophomore, Lyle Thompson, 58 goals on the season. Not one-dimensional, though, Clark. He's also got 46 assists.
Complete player is an understatement for Lyle Thompson. He faces off at an elite level. He clears the ball. He's great on ground balls. I mean, this kid has superstar written all over him.
Lyle, really one of the great North and South players in the state of New York. He has spent his whole 10th grade year just going to the cage the full length of the field.
Surefire Division I player along with his brother Miles. If you put them in the right system, these guys can just completely light up a scoreboard. It's the hands, too, that really separate them. You watch them play. Their ability to catch in traffic, the soft hands.
Do you have the Syracuse media guides for them for after the game, Clark?
I'd love to see them wearing the orange, following some past great Lafayette players.
Yeah, well, they should be following their brothers there. It looks like Jeremy and Jerome, in the words of the Lafayette staff, will wind up with Cuse. And they have the ball once again. Now look at this. John Greeley to the backside.
One of the all-time greats out of Lafayette, the long pole, Marshall Abrams, the national champion for Syracuse. He was a freshman when I was a senior. An unbelievable talent, a great person. Grew up on the reservation as well, and almost like another offensive player for us at Syracuse having Abrams on the field.
Thompson using his body. Boy, he is strong. I mean, you just heard and saw Rubitone whacking away. Have a chance. We check in with Maggie Gray.
Yeah, guys, just checking in about Miles and Lyle Thompson. They also get to play inter-tribal games during the summer, and it's a way for them to see different types of competition. It's something that really can't be replicated in any other type of summer lacrosse. And, Paul, as you said, it's box lacrosse inside, very tight and very tight stick skills, which we've seen today, guys.
Yeah, lacrosse, such a part of their culture is this game, and they have a great passion and love for the game. Mike Reese saying these two guys every day with a smile on their face just love the game. Now here's English to the cage. English puts it home. Oh, when you need a big goal, you dial up your All-American, and Connor English will not disappoint. Number 3 on the day for the Virginia-bound senior, and English makes it a 4-goal differential once again. And he did it all on his own.
Big time move by Connor English. Recognizes the defense is not settled. Their normal slide package is not intact. And number 11 just slices through the middle of this defense with a great angle. and the shot placement. Look at the placement right there on the right-handed goalie. Offside hip.
Oh, beautifully done off the face-off is Ricky Buer. Buer to the cage. And Ricky Buer, he's become a big-time face-off guy, the junior midi. That was a tough-looking play as he kicked it to himself and almost put it home.
You know, one of the reasons Manhasset right now is up 6-2. Lafayette, a team used to dominating face-offs with Lyle Thompson. Ricky Buer has had some huge face-offs from Manhasset in this first and second quarter.
So under 4 minutes now in the second quarter of this Class C final. So glad to have you aboard on MSG Plus, the final weekend for the Lax Hut Game of the Week. We've had a great day here on MSG Plus of championship lacrosse from Rochester, New York. English now, up top he goes. The ball is moving. Molinari doesn't handle it, and it's scooped up by Lyle Thompson. Thompson now giving chase as Molinari. Thompson with a pass to the interior and a goal. Taking the whole field is Thompson, and it's Thompson and Thompson once again. Miles with his second of the day, and it is 6-3. That is North and South at its finest.
That's what I was talking about earlier with number 4. He is a complete midfielder, only a sophomore. When you look at the midfield position, this really epitomizes play. Scooping a ground ball on the defensive end, working transition and finding the backside with a pinpoint pass to his brother. Incredible.
Oh, the violation off the face-off. And Lafayette will get possession. Greeley now.
That's a big violation from Manhasset. You look at Manhasset in the second quarter, they're dominating face-offs with Ricky Buer. 5-1 against Lafayette before that false start.
Look at Rubertone, the Fairfield Bow senior, and he creates a turnover. Manny Rubertone, the honor student.
Great check by Rubertone.
We will take a timeout from Rochester, New York. Coach Cherry and the Indians are involved in a very entertaining first half on the Lax Hut Game of the Week, only on MSG Plus. Prepared, get on checkmyskills.com. About 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go now in the second quarter of this Class C final. Manhasset on the move now. Is Pat Maroney to the cage, and Kana has got number 4. You got to account for number 11 when he's on the doorstep. And English makes it 7-3. The All-American has 4 goals in the first half.
Well, this senior is stepping up and saving his best for last when the stakes are highest. Just a pure goal scorer, English. We saw his first 2 goals from the outside. His third goal on a dodge, and then a finishing ability in the inside by number 11. He's fired up and got every reason to be.
Big face-off won by Lafayette and scooped up by Shea Thomas, the junior. Just from a pure momentum standpoint, Clark, Lafayette would love to go into the locker room down only 3 at 7-4. They have the ball now with under 2 minutes to go. Thompson. From behind he goes. Thompson now rushes the cage, turns on the Jets, and he scores. Oh, he's impressive. Lyle Thompson, second of the day. And the sophomore recognizing the need for a play, and he puts it in the back of the net.
Find me a more complete sophomore midfielder in the country, Jimmy. I'm all ears because this kid can win face-offs, ground balls, transition. We saw the pinpoint passing ability. Now he's inverting the defense. He recognizes he has a short stick on him. Takes that defensive midfielder from behind the cage out of his normal element.
So the deficit is only 3 now, and Lafayette, off the loose ball scramble on the face-off, they have the ball again. So it is getting interesting now. Miles Thompson now doing what he does best, drawing a double. Ball backing in. Now he draws a triple. The ball hits the turf. Good job by the Manhasset defense. And they'll play it back to Jack Meyer. And now Kevin Coleman picks it up, and Manhasset wants to talk about it. Bill Cherry, he knows the final minute of this second quarter is a big 60 seconds left here, as their lead has been trimmed to 3. They'd like to take this final minute and maybe another goal into the locker room.
You know, you look at this game right now, it's 7-4. Coach Cherry knows this last minute, as much as they have the comfortable lead, we've seen a different Lafayette team in the second quarter. We almost know, watching this game, they have the ability to put up those numbers quickly. So if you're Manhasset right now, you don't want to give that offense another opportunity. You need to run a play and run your set so Lafayette doesn't get the ball offensively again.
Well, since it was 5-0, Lafayette has outscored Manhasset 4-2. And there is too much time left in this game to let Lafayette just continue to do what they're doing. So Manhasset is going to have to make some defensive adjustments, but boy, they have the defenders. Mr. Thompson enjoying it right now. Seeing Lyle and company get back in this game. At 5-0, Lafayette was probably questioning what was going on. Well, they've answered it now. They can play with Manhasset. 4 goals in the last 5 minutes, none in the first 18 minutes. All is back in play. Our final minute of the second quarter here on your Lax Hut Game of the Week. Zach Koufakis. Koufakis now up top, all alone off the crossbar. Oh man, opportunity there for Heenan. It was that close. Connor English backs it off. Now English with a rush at the cage, being guarded by Story. English inside, number 5. The Connor English show continues on the Lax Hut Game of the Week. He has beaten the keeper 5 times in the first 24 minutes.
Lafayette just doesn't have an answer for him. Storier, athletically, just not up to speed with English right there. You just see the little fake to the right side with his stick. Continues down that left pipe. English taking over this game. If you are Lafayette, you have to shut off number 11. I mean, every time he has the ball, probably shooting 5 for 7 here, Jimmy. He's beating you inside, outside, dodging.
Final 10 seconds now, the second quarter. And they will just throw it down, see if something can happen. Look at Meyer, though. He's not taking any chances. The whistle will sound, which is good news for Lafayette, because number 11 had the ball on his stick. He will walk off after the final day of his high school athletic career. He is halfway home. Connor English, Clark, with a historic first half, 5 goals in the state final in the first half.
Incredible. When you think about it, Manhasset goes on to win this game. This is legendary for number 11. Connor English has really been so successful on the offensive end, and Lafayette doesn't have the answer because he's scoring a multiple of ways.
Well, Coach Bill Cherry, he once led by 5, it is now 4, and he's with Maggie Gray.
Thanks, Coach. Connor, already 5 goals today. What has impressed you the most about his transition into this senior year?
He's just worked so much harder at it. You know, not that he didn't work hard before, but he's developed a right hand. He's developed different moves. He's gotten bigger and stronger. He's just done everything you need to do to be a champion.
And goals when you need it. Turning to Lafayette, you guys have contained John Greeley, but the Thompson brothers really giving you trouble. What are they doing?
You know, we're not making our slides. We're late on our slides, and we're letting them muscle their way around the cage. We've got to slide on them. They're too good to let go one-on-one.
We got a good game shaping up. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Coach Cherry always with a smile on his face, and why not? Connor English is putting on a show in the state final on the Lafayette Game of the Week. Halftime is next. The score of this New York State lacrosse final on the Lafayette Game of the Week. This is your Melrose Credit Union halftime report. Melrose Credit Union, you can get there from here. Well, it was just a week ago on the Lafayette Game of the Week. We had West Islip and Ward Melville in the Suffolk County Championship. West Islip seeking their 6th straight county title. Their head coach, Scott Craig, the former Lion, well, we had the microphones on him. We spend a game day with Scott Craig and the Lions.
Tonight's got to be your night. You got to believe in yourselves. You got to go out and get it done. All right? 48 minutes. 48 minutes of West Islip lacrosse. All right? And we walk away county champions.
A look at Rochester, New York, site for this New York State Class C Championship. Good first half for the Indians of Manhasset. They have a 4-goal lead over Lafayette. Jimmy Cavallo along with Paul Carcaterra. We move to the highlights, and Manhasset got the first of the game from the UPenn-bound junior midi, Drew Belinsky, who was looking up top.
Well, Belinsky got the Indians on the board with a high, hard rip. But then the senior, Connor English, he was spraying it from downtown in the first half. His first of 5 goals from downtown, his second similar spot.
That would make it 3-0. Manhasset really poured it on in this first half. And when Glenn Tompkins goes down low, the game was 5-0. Lafayette had to be questioning themselves, but then here they come. Miles Thompson, bull dodge, he makes it 5-1, and then his little brother comes calling.
Well, Lyle Thompson showing the finishing ability. The sophomore midfielder was all over the place in that second quarter. Connor English again with number 4. Lyle Thompson inverting, showing you his wide range of a game he has. But then Connor English, his 5th of the day, puts up the Manhasset Indians 8-4. And he's been red hot, the senior English.
Well, English on the verge of championship lore. You'll take a look at our stats from the first half. Look at all the shots. The saves are up there. Face-offs about even. That's going to be huge as this game rolls on. Kark, what do you see when you see these stats? Nothing really jumps out.
Nothing does, but the 5 goals from Manhasset's Connor English. If you're Lafayette, shut him off. Don't let him get involved in the play. He's playing with so much confidence, and when you play like that, your best lacrosse is yet to come. He's playing with house money right now.
Yeah, you're right. Should have said, hey, Jimmy, 5 goals in the first half. That jumps out. What a first half for number 11 in orange. The third quarter in the New York State Finals in Class C is straight ahead. Manhasset's up by 4 goals in the state final. We check in with Maggie Gray.
Jimmy, thanks so much. Got a chance to catch up with Coach Reese from Lafayette. He said that they're going to plan on using a lot more zone to try to cut off Connor English. He said it's about his team tightening up. They're not getting to ground balls, and most importantly, face-offs, which has been really the bread and butter of their team throughout the year. He said also they need to get John Greeley more involved. They need seniors to step up in the second half. Back to you.
So you got to feel, Kark, there was a little memo to Greeley in that locker room, but off the face-off, look at this opportunity. Oh, that's his big save by Clyburn. Now off the loose ball, nearly shoveled ahead by Zach Koufakis.
Yeah, if you're going to get in the zone, though, you have to press out when number 11. You have to almost shade him when he's on the outside. But what a face-off and a win for Ricky Buer right there. Showing you the ability also to start some offense. That was a great save, though, by Clyburn.
So Manhasset takes the field in the third quarter with a good contingent of their fans who have made their way to Rochester from Long Island. They were happy in the first half, I should say, those fans, as we spoke to a few of them, but they're still concerned after what they saw out of this Lafayette offense. Dangerous team, the Lancers, at 23-0. They also have a dangerous team themselves. I'm sure the Lafayette fans are like, wow.
They don't want to see any more of number 11 in this game if you're Lafayette. But we saw some glimpses out of that Lafayette offense in the second quarter, Jimmy, that shows us they can really explode.
Zach Koufakis rushes the top side and puts it home. The Deerfield-bound senior attackman And Koufakis makes it a 5-goal game.
What a move by Koufakis. I'm really impressed with this kid. He made a couple dodgy moves earlier in the first quarter. This move right here, you see the dip in the head, and then the explosiveness to get that shot off in the air right there. Koufakis going to Deerfield, having a post-grad year there. Not a real big kid. That gives him another year really to mature. Don't be surprised when you see Koufakis on a Division I roster in 2 years.
And it's got to be the best of times for number 7. Tore his ACL last year, missed the football season, really battled back with his rehab and all those drills and those sweaty moments, rehabbing that knee back and all the pain. It's got to feel great now for Zach Koufakis to be out there with his buddies in a state final and really playing well. Look at him with the check right there on the ride. And the turnover gives it off to his Indians. Now in motion. Here comes Connor. Big blast, but it's saved by Kleiber. And Kleiber had to be thinking, oh no, when he sees number 11 bearing down on him. Now, look at the ride once again. Put on John Greeley, but Greeley, he'll come away with that. Here comes Greeley now, the Hopkins-bound senior midi. Greeley, quick pass on the inside. Now the battle for the loose balls that goes down. Excellent ground ball delivered there onto the stick of Johnny Duvniak. Middlebury-bound John Duvniak, one of the leaders. Now on the rush, Molinari, he's got 3 assists. Oh, Koufakis for picking up the loose change. Look at the wizard, Jeff Molinari. The Harvard-bound senior with a no-look goal. And it is 10-4 Manhasset. This was sweet, Clark.
It's great to see. Molinari, a senior, has been distributing the ball so well here today. It starts with another senior, Duvniak. Him and Capolini, what a 1-2 punch on the defensive end for Manhasset. Molinari gives up the ball. Loose change right here. A little look away right there. That was sweet.
Oh, man.
If you see here, once he releases the ball, doesn't even look right there when he shoots. Hey, if you don't know where it's going, how does the goalie? What a sick shot by Molinari.
I mean, he looked like Jason Kidd on a fast break. Magic Johnson back in the day. Looking one way, sending it the other. And now it's trouble city now for Lafayette. They're down a half a dozen.
And Molinari heading off to Harvard. Coach Tillman, John Tillman, doing an incredible job recruiting the Crimson Tide. Don't be surprised to see them knocking on the door for an NCAA Final Four in the next 3-4 years, maybe even sooner. Guys like Capolini from Manhasset, the defensive All-American. Molinari, the two-way guy from Manhasset. They've just been cleaning up, even going into Baltimore right now to recruit some of the nation's best.
Clark, you're seeing the definition of a championship team in this 2009 Manhasset. They go into the locker room up by 4, and a high-power team like Lafayette, they expected to come out here in this third quarter and sort of recapture the momentum and make a statement. Well, Manhasset, they have scored the first 2 goals of this third quarter, and they have the ball now. They have their foot squarely on the throat of these Lancers in this Class C state final.
And it tells you something about their coaching and their character. To be up by 4 and to come out here in the early stage of the third quarter, not only controlling tempo, but dominating tempo, and they're doing it their way here.
Take a sideline check-in with Maggie Gray.
Jimmy, thanks. Well, Manhasset, they are all about staying focused throughout the playoffs. They're calling this trip a business trip up to Rochester. They even wore suits on the bus up here, and throughout the school year, the seniors have took turns making phone calls for bed checks before game nights. Brad Capolini, Jack Meyer told me they're calling the house phones, too, not the cell phones. And if the parents say the kids are asleep, they have them wake them up just to make sure they're actually in bed. Back to you.
Yeah, the coaching staff of Manhasset has been really impressed with the maturity of this senior club and the seniors on this club. Meyer with a save right there. They police themselves, Clark. And you don't always find that in high school. On the ride up here, they stopped at a rest area. You get 40, 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids in a rest area. It can get a little nuts. Well, 2 ladies came up to the coaches as they were departing and said, we just want to say, for a high school, these kids are really well behaved. Those are the kind of things coaches remember.
You can get a ton of Leadership, obviously, from your coaching staff with Coach Cherry, who does an incredible job. But at the end of the day, Jimmy, it has to come from the student-athlete. And when you have senior leaders like John Duvniak and Capolini and English and Molinari, they're doing it the right way in Manhasset.
Taking the body on this. First it was Maroney, then A.J. Diaz. And then another check comes, and Lafayette will get a possession. The Lancers, their offense in motion. Miles Thompson spins off. Look at the strength of Thompson to keep the ball on his stick. Unreal. Look at this effort. Finally, the back check gets him. It was Matty Ruberton. Ruberton now. Off to Zach Koufakis. Here's Koufakis now. Dangerous in motion. Zach takes a look. Swings it off to Connor English. English, forget about it. Sweet 6 for Connor English. And Manhasset is pouring it on in the state final.
I mean, the speed and the athleticism of this Manhasset team. The run and gun ability in transition. Look at the ball movement here. Koufakis, head up on the dodge. Finds English on that backside, and English takes in that check. Continues to excel over that goal line extended to increase his angle, knowing there's room to operate. The more he drives to the left hand, the more angle he has. 6 on the board for number 11, the All-American.
Here they come once again in transition. They got Lafayette on the chase now. Manhasset led by 4 at the half. They have pumped the first 3 goals into the cage in this third quarter. And Lafayette's bench is sort of looking at this game in disbelief. They are a perfect 23-0 coming into this game. They have played in front all year long. And right now, they find themselves trailing by 7 goals to the team out of Suffolk County, Long Island. Here's a blast and a score. Everybody's getting on the board now. Jeff Izzo, the Amherst-bound senior. And it's 12-4.
Jeff Izzo showing some range. You know, the depth of Manhasset, you could throw Molinari. You can throw Belinsky on the midfield. You have third options like Jeff Izzo. And here's a kid as a senior off to Amherst. Week in and week out, played at an elite level in Nassau County. Jeff Izzo, just a textbook overhand rip right there.
I don't know if Connor English has pulled you aside, Carr, but he might make a reference to your second-team Tri-State All-Stars as he found himself on that second team. But what a performance. We'll take a look at Kark's second team for the Tri-State All-Stars.
The Tri-State area, Connecticut, Westchester County, New Jersey, and all of Long Island. The second team, English, headlining that bunch. Willie Manny from St. Anthony's, Interlicchio from Yorktown. The midfield for Caro. Great face-off guy heading off to Princeton, Brandon Walsh. Off to Fairfield. Hodgson will see the junior here today. And Capolini, Manhasset, top cover guy off to Harvard. Kiernan from Ridgewood. The senior off to Navy, Max Mayer. One of the best juniors in the country. And then Feeney won that state championship over Del Barton for Summit. But when you look at English, certainly first-team talent. Let me ask you this question. Who do you knock off that first team when you have Nicky Galasso, Matt White, Jojo Morosco? 3 guys who are possibly the best 3 attackmen in the country.
Only room for 3. I think I put Manhasset in Suffolk County a moment ago. Of course, Manhasset in Nassau County, Section 8. But look at that stat, 6 goals. And Pat Capolini, the captain, heading off to Harvard, also the All-American. These guys have had their eye on the prize for a long time, and they are celebrating right now with an 8-goal lead.
Well, Jimmy, when you think of the Tri-State All-Stars, what a hotbed. I mean, in lacrosse, you think about it, Division I rosters are just bombarded with the top talent in the tri-state area. So that second team, you could have a third and 14 of future kids who will go on to be Division I stars. So no shame in making that second team.
And this Tuesday night on the New Balance Lax Report, Kark, you will announce your tri-state MVP. One player who, in your mind, has elevated his program and his level of play has really stood out. Kark's tri-state MVP this Tuesday night, 10 p.m. on the New Balance Lax Report. Mike Quick and company. Opportunity and a goal now. Gay-New Printup. Boy, he expected a lot out of this finisher. He came into the game with 58 goals. And the senior attackman is on the board now as he picked up some loose change and made it count. Us and our Check My Skills check of the game. Hey, this stick work of Jack Myers, something to behold.
Playing his angles, following the shot of Printup. And only a quarter away from a state championship.
As a keeper, Kark, you know you can never be afraid of a little body contact. Sometimes you got to come out and meet that player. So Lafayette now. They got to find some scoring in a hurry to thrust themselves back in this game. Nate Bursevoy all the way to the cage. Oh, he's flattened. He'll draw a penalty. But it's not the worst one in the world for Brad Capolini because Bursevoy was one-on-one with the goalie.
Knock Bursevoy down now. This kid's only in 8th grade. Once he matures and becomes a little bit bigger, the sky's the limit. He'll be one of the next great Lafayette lacrosse players.
Yeah, number 23 in white, Bursevoy, as Kark said, has not even entered Lafayette High School yet. Just an 8th grader. Has chipped in with 15 points, though, in his 8th grade year. 9 goals and 6 assists.
This is where Lafayette is very dangerous in the man-up opportunities. You watch the stick work, their ability to really bang the ball around.
All alone on the doorstep, and it goes into the cage. Oh, Miles Thompson got a slick little pass, and he makes it count. And if you're Manhasset, you can't pull the bus up yet, Kark. We still have 15 minutes to go in this game.
You saw the rifle pass by Lyle Thompson right here. All you need is a little bit of a seam.
Lafayette goal, his third of the game, the hat trick.
Miles Thompson with the finish. Miles Thompson looking a lot like Syracuse University's Cody Jamison, the ability to finish inside in traffic with pressure. Similar style.
You gotta love the pace that Lyle Thompson put on that pass too, Kark. I mean, you're gonna squeeze it in there. You gotta do it with some gusto. Off the loose ball now. Koufakis comes together. Good stick check. But the cavalry of Lafayette. Derek Bennett, the senior defender, one of their leaders, makes a leadership play right there. He'll head off to OCC next year. And the Lancers are getting a little boost from their crowd now as they trail by 6. They've seen this team score 6 goals in a quarter on many, many days this year.
And you saw on that defensive end, Jonathan Storier looking at the bench, waving his hands. Let's get up, gentlemen. He knows it has to happen now on this possession.
Thompson now has got a cutter, and there's a goal. It's Miles to Lyle once again. The brothers Thompson, at times they are unstoppable. And it is a 5-goal game, third of the day for Lyle.
Well, they're switching sides here now. We saw the last goal. It was Lyle to Miles. This time Miles to Lyle. Both of you showing great vision, finishing ability. Just all around excellent lacrosse players. The spot feed by Miles to find a streaking Lyle. Who knows? He has to get that shot off right away. Losing his angle, Jimmy, while he was cutting. Great awareness.
Boy, what a display of brotherhood and lacrosse chemistry you are seeing out of these two young men. Part of the Onondagas spoke Iroquois. As youngsters now have mastered the English language and really are on their way, not only in the game of lacrosse, but the game of life. And boy, they bring it to the field, that sort of brotherly intuition.
This is my first time actually seeing these kids live, seen a little tape of them and read up on them quite a bit. I'm more impressed watching them live, Jimmy. Such upside for the Thompson brothers.
They move around the field with such ease, and sort of a little contrast between the Miles, number 22, the big bullish and quickness and strength, and then of course his brother Lyle, the sophomore, number 4, so fast and slick the way he finds the seams in the defense and the way he can run the field. And I tell you, Manhasset up 8 goals, Clark. They had to relax a second, and you see a team like Lafayette, they jump right back on you if you relax.
One of the things that really impresses me about the Thompson brothers, they never look panicked when the lacrosse ball's in their stick. Just so smooth and calm and relaxed. You just know a lacrosse stick was meant to be in their hands, and they're magical with that stick.
Well, Manhasset is dominating the face-offs and has given them possession. Connor English right at the keeper, and Kleiber holds his ground. Now a race for the spot. Who got there? Lafayette did. Big hustle to get to the ball. And it was the keeper, Kleiber. That's a great job by him.
Save of the day for Kleiber in the hustle play. Maybe even bigger.
Now down the other end. Ball's on the carpet. All the ground balls count now, and Lyle Thompson is on this one. Penalty comes out. Delayed call here.
No foul! No foul!
We're calling a 30-second technical. Possibly a hold somewhere on that last offensive possession for Lafayette. But if you're Manhasset, you don't want to go man down in this game, because when Lafayette gets in the 6-on-5 man-up opportunity, there's actually an offsides now they're calling. This is dangerous when this team plays 6-on-5. They just have the ability to find seams, bang that ball around.
Boy, once again, Lyle to Miles. You got to mark these two guys in a hurry. Final 30 seconds. Manhasset desperately trying to get to the fourth quarter, maintaining a 5-goal lead. But they're in a man down now against one of the highest scoring teams in the nation. This team specializes in putting it home. Opportunity now for Lafayette. Turning and firing. Ball goes out of bounds. Who got there? Oh, great hustle there by Lafayette, backing that one up. Looked like James Turner. That was close.
Another look at that one, just barely missing that far pipe.
Here comes Miles now, backing it down to his brother inside, and Meyer comes up with a big save, but it's a crease violation, and Manhasset will escape this possession in a man down, and as they will look up at the clock as it ticks 0 after 36 minutes of play, Jack Meyer and company, could you draw it up any better? There are 12 minutes left in their high school lacrosse season in the state final. The guys in orange out of Nassau County, Coach Bill Cherry and company, lead by 5 goals on the Lax Hut game of the week. The fourth and final quarter is next. All right, thanks a lot, Mr. Quick. Looking forward to the New Balance Lax Report on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Clark's Tri-State MVP. A lot of candidates. Only one will have the right to be called the first ever Tri-State MVP on the New Balance Lax Report. To the fourth quarter we go. And it's amazing, Clark. You just don't feel like they're out of it because they got guys like this. Lyle Thompson. He just keeps coming. And it's a 4-goal game now. It's as if it was a 4-goal game before the quarter even started, because this took only 13 seconds.
Wow. Just getting down the middle of the field, breaking this defense down. Lyle Thompson goes back to his right hand with pressure. I mean, if Lyle Thompson was a stock, I'm buying it. I've watched enough high school lacrosse to confidently say this is the best sophomore in the country, Jimmy.
Unbelievable fight there by Ricky Buer, but off the violation, Lafayette will get it. Hey, Clark, you're not going to get any argument from anybody here on saying that about Thompson. Now a shot to the interior. Look at the passing and a goal! Here they come. The Lancers are heating up in the state final. And it's a 3-goal game.
That's a timeout that's needed if you're Bill Terry and Manhasset. Lafayette coming out like a bunch of gangbusters here. Print up on the backside off a feed from Miles Thompson. Great recognition off of that rebound. Now I'm going to give you some credit here, Jimmy. You said at the end of the third quarter, have you ever had that feeling a team down by 5 is still in this game? You called it. I mean, within 28 seconds, that lead's been cut to 3. We have a ball game.
There's no doubt about it. And what they've done is they've slowed down Connor English. English with 5 goals in the first half, 1 in the second, 1 in the third quarter, I should say. And they are in this game now with a world of time left. The Lancers only trail by 3. And for them, it's got to feel like it's almost a tie game. Don't forget, at one point, they trailed 12-4.
And the impact of the two Thompson brothers. Print up starting to heat up. And maybe their best and most celebrated player, John Greeley, we really haven't heard much of. The senior Hopkins bound. Many people feel he might be the best player in the country. And hats off to Manhasset and that defensive plan to stop Greeley. I think John Duvniak has done a fabulous job on Lafayette's number 9, but 4-22, the two Thompson brothers are exploding here in the second half.
And Lyle wins a face-off. And the sophomore.
I mean, keep that in mind. This kid is a sophomore. I mean, from a midfield standpoint and playing both ends of the field, you can't find a better sophomore.
Here's a target goal! Here he is again! Number 5 on the day! And it is 12-10 in the state final. The super sophomore, Lyle Thompson, with his 62nd goal of the year. And he is running circles around the Manhasset defense.
62nd goal, over 40 assists. A great face-off player. A gritty clear and ground ball machine. This kid has been incredible.
A 6-0 run by Lafayette after they trailed 12-4. 6-0, and it is 12-10 with 11 minutes left. They have scored 3 goals in the first 60 seconds of the fourth quarter.
Big face-off for Manhasset. Ricky Buer won that last face-off. Well needed if you're Manhasset. Control the ball right now. Everyone gets a touch. Way too much time to be stalling, but conserve this possession if you're Manhasset.
Now English to the cage. English up top. Oh, just what the doctor ordered. Connor English with his 7th of the day. Connor English got the ball on his stick, Clark, and he knew he was not giving this one up.
Well, I was up here saying conserve the possession, but if your senior All-American attackman is 6 goals, why not number 7? And a great dodge right here. Dodges down with his right hand. Gets to the inside of Storier. Great awareness to get back to his left hand to increase his angle. Number 7 for the All-American headed to Virginia.
Oh, Buer. He got hit with a big cross-check that was not called. But he has done a great job once again. Here comes the penalties now. Number 29, the junior. He will jump up off the carpet. But Ricky Buer is playing as tough as a game as you could ever ask. He is going up against a bunch of fighters in Lafayette on every face-off. And he is coming out ahead on a lot of them. Look at Ricky go to work.
Yeah, this kid is gritty. Tough as nails, Ricky Buer. Great character, work ethic. You have a kid like that who just doesn't give up on plays. Number 29 leaving it all on the field. Getting some good looks as well from the Division I ranks.
Yeah, he took a high check right there. He's a tough, tenacious football lacrosse kid. And he has really played a big game today. So man up now for Manhasset. They've seen their lead dwindle to 2. They've pumped it back to 3. Now in the man up. A 6-0 run by Lafayette has given this game a lot of life. It's a goal! Jeffrey Izzo, the Amherst-bound senior midi, put a little giddy up on that right-hander, and his second of the day makes it 14-10. If you're looking for offense, Clark, you came to the right place in the Class C final.
Well, both of these teams just imposing their offensive ability on the opposition's defense. It just seems whoever has the ball here, Jimmy, scoring goals. The reaction. Manhasset knows after that huge run by Lafayette, that is a rip.
And look who wins the face-off. Ricky Buer right back out there. And that's a huge face-off. The lead gets back to 4. You can settle it down now. Take the air out of the ball a little bit now, Kark, and just kind of look around if you're Manhasset and realize what's in front of you. You have 9 minutes left in a 4-goal lead. You can't stall it out now. But you can really take a look at things now from a momentum standpoint because you've slowed down that Lancer explosion.
You know, a lot of times those face-off guys don't get the credit, not scoring all the goals, but Buer has been one of the most valuable players for Manhasset all season long. He's had a couple fourth-quarter face-offs that have been beyond huge, and he's done it, being nicked up and exhausted. Hats off to 29.
Connor English, he's got to keep it in now. Off a stall warning, so English will take a look. Here's English now to the rack, looking for number 8. Put it in the book. Connor English, 8 goals on the day in the state final, and Manhasset is back up by 5.
They just don't have the answer for this kid. I mean, he just beat Storier from X straight up. The crossover. And we heard Coach Jerry say that English worked hard on his quickness, his strength. It's evident because he is really demanding the ball here, and the separation that he's getting off of that first step, well improved over the years. English has been a beast.
Lafayette in front. Well, Clark, I tell you, we just saw the promo for the New Balance Lax Report Tuesday night at 10. I'd like to say in attention to Mike Quick, we have found our boys' player of the week. He's got to be number 11, Connor English. 8 goals in a state final.
I mean, to put that type of performance together when the stakes are highest and your team goes after their 3rd state title in school history, to score 8 goals as a marked man. You know, drawing Storier, who's been a great defender for Lafayette all season long. Connor English has really been fabulous here today.
Well, you got to think to beat Lafayette, you're going to have to score goals the way they score, and English has been the answer. Here's a shot of goal from the outside for Lafayette as they make good on every possession. Printup once again with a goal for Gaynu, his 3rd of the day, and he's now got 61 on the season, and they will not go away, Clark.
Well, this is a good skip pass, a little look away by Greeley. You saw the head one way, makes the pass the other. Real nice pass right there, and just a textbook overhand bounce shot finish by Printup.
So the lead is 4 once again, and look at him go. Ricky Buer. I mean, you can't say it enough, Kark. When you're leading by 4 goals and you're playing a team like Lafayette who could score at will, when you win these possessions, it is dictating the game.
I thought Bure's performance here, outside of English, he's been Manhasset's MVP here in this game.
You're absolutely right.
English certainly just took over this game and elevated his game and his team play to another level, but outside of number 11, it's been 29, who I think's been biggest in the biggest moments.
Here's English now, top side, lets a laser go. And there's Connor. Oh, he is really having a day in the final game of his Manhasset career. His name is synonymous with Manhasset lacrosse, and they will talk about this performance for the next 100 years in Manhasset. Connor English in a state final has 8 goals, and we have nearly 8 minutes left.
What a way to finish a celebrated career. If you're Connor English, you're an All-American, you're an Empire State player, going off to the University of Virginia.
Here he comes once again, takes a penalty, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Unstoppable Connor English with his 9th goal of the day. I'll say it again, it's 9 goals.
Nine goals. We can confirm this in a little bit, but in a state championship, that has to be a New York State record. 9 goals. This kid is so determined to score, to win a national or a state championship. On a national level, though, Jimmy, New York State, traditionally one of the best. English has just taken his game to new heights here.
What a display by the All-American. 9 goals, Kark, 5 of which are unassisted. And he came in with an agenda today to leave it all on the carpet here in Rochester. And Connor English is emptying the tank in the state final, the likes of which I don't know if you've ever seen before.
You know, one really great defensive strategy I've seen from Manhasset today is actually putting Rubitone on Miles Thompson. It's been well documented, Jimmy, that Cappellini's their top cover guy, but he's a right-hander. And for a right-hander to guard a big-time righty dodger, he has to go cross forearm. Rubitone, a natural left-hander, can play his top side a lot better than Cappellini could against a right-hander. That's a great coaching decision by Manhasset here today.
6 minutes to go now. The lead is 5 for Manhasset. It was 2 years ago in 2005. These same 2 teams played in this same game, the state final. The game was tied at 9 with under 30 seconds late. Off a face-off, there was a scramble. Manhasset had control of the ball, Kark. It popped up in the air. It went on to the stick of a Lafayette Lancer, who put it in the back of the net. And Lafayette beat Manhasset in 2005, 10-9. But today, Connor English has brought his A game.
I think if you're Manhasset right now with a 16-11 lead with 5 minutes and change left, hold on to the ball. Kill some clock here.
Oh, look at the pickoff right there by Matty Rubitone. And there was a timeout before the pass by the Lancers of Lafayette. And Coach Mike Reese says he looks up. 5 minutes to go in this season for the Lancers. They have the firepower to erase a 5-goal deficit. So he just wants to give his guys a little breather, a little blow, and let them know the final 5 minutes. And speaking of closure, that is Ken Rizzo. And for the last 25 years, he has been a New York State high school lacrosse official. And this is his final 5 minutes officiating. And what a game and what a venue they have put him in to referee his final game. So, Mr. Rizzo, from the whole lacrosse world, we say thanks. Thanks for the memories and thanks for the service of 25 years. Not a bad call, right, in 25 years, Clark? I'm sure there were some that would disagree, but it all comes with the territory when you're the guys in stripes. So now Mike Reese. They have played 23 games this season, the Lancers. They have won all 23. Their perfect season is on life support with 5 minutes left. They trail by 5 goals. They can't take away, though, from the show that Lyle Thompson has put on. You see their storied tradition in this C championship. And a little revenge has been exacted by the Indians of Manhasset. And I'll say this about Lafayette, Clark. If you are in Class C, you better get them this year. Because next year, look out. Because Miles Thompson will be back. Lyle Thompson will be back. Yeah, they'll lose John Greeley. But as you see, 22-4, they add up to a whole lot of trouble for the opposition.
They certainly do. They can score in bunches. What's impressed me about this tandem as well is their ability to feed. Great feeders, head up all the time. They spot the cutters, get teammates involved. They're fun to watch.
The strength of Miles Thompson, amazing. He is not afraid of any triple team, but this time the Indians come away with it. Big effort by Brad Campolini. Drops it off to his buddy Connor English. English now. One more goal by Connor English, Clark, and he'll be in double digits.
Well, if you're Manhasset right now, just kill some clock. Spin that ball around. Spread the field before a call is a stall warning. You want to be called for a stall warning here. Give Lafayette another opportunity offensively.
Zach Koufakis. And as much as we've spoken, Clark, about this Lafayette offense, boy, you got to give Manhasset and their offense a lot of credit because they answered the bell every time they needed to. Jumped out to a big lead to start the game. Padded their lead at the half. Came out in the third quarter and reasserted their lead. When it slipped away towards the start of the fourth quarter, they got it right back. When they've had to score, they've got it done. Molinari now. Manhasset spreads it out. And this is the first stall we've seen out of Manhasset. They love to get out and run play up and down. Going to be a slash here, looks like, on Lafayette.
You know, big senior class for Manhasset. As we'll see their man-up team come on.
We will take a timeout here from Rochester, New York, in the Class C Championships. Number 11, legendary on the Game of the Week.
I'm not.
Back in the Laxud Game of the Week right here on MSG Plus, New York State Class C Championship. Manhasset with 16 goals on the day, and they're 3 minutes away from a state championship. And 9 of those 16 have been courtesy of one of the best in the business, number 11 in your program, the Virginia-bound senior All-American, Connor English.
Count them, 9 goals. And he did it so many ways that it made him so tough to scout and game plan as this contest went on. He did it with outside rips, finishing inside, dominating his one-on-one matchup. Number 11 smelled a state championship, saved his best game of his career for last. Over 80 goals on the season now, and 9 in a state championship. That makes you a town legend, number 11.
You know, what's most impressive about it, Carr, because, you know, sometimes, many times, a guy scores 9 goals, and you say to yourself, well, who is the opponent? Even if it's in a state championship, you know, if you're 15 goals better than a team in a state final, you don't want to see a kid score 9 goals. Connor English, these 9 goals all meant something.
Oh, absolutely. You look in the beginning stages of the fourth quarter, and Manhasset was winning 12-10, and all points towards Lafayette having the distinct advantage in terms of momentum, Jimmy. I mean, we thought here at 12-10 it was anyone's ball game, and Connor English just continued to be lights out, scoring a few fourth quarter goals on his route to an MVP type game.
Yeah, it's been a wild game of runs. At one point, this game was 12-4 Manhasset. Next thing you knew, Clark, as you just said, then it was 12-10, and now 16-11. Here's English once again, thinking about nothing but taking clock here.
Your man up right here. Lafayette has to double spread the field. You have to keep the ball in. There was a stall warning. Let's milk the clock right here.
Well, if you're thinking that 9 goals is a record in a game, not the case. 2 players have scored 10 goals, or 3 players have scored 10 goals in a game in a state final. Timmy Lando of Corning East in 05, Connor Henderson of Canandaigua in 2007, and Luke D'Alessandro of Hastings in 2008.
Well, those aren't actual state final, state playoff games, so
okay,
for us to find a state final one, we'll have to go in the archives a little more. I'd venture to say 9 very well could be a record for a state final. State playoff, obviously not. But what a day for Connor English and seniors like this kid right here, Molinari and Dubniak and Capolini, and can't forget about their senior stud goaltender.
Well, at the team meal on Friday afternoon in Rochester, Coach Bill Cherry, alongside Bob Rules, sat at the table and told us this group set a goal that nothing would get in their way. They would go on to police themselves all season long. Maggie chronicled the seniors calling for bed checks in season. The seniors, Dubniak and Meyer, Molinari, Capolini, Connor English, they all demanded hustle from their teammates. Not on game days, but on practice days. And it's a goal, they said, started in the 6th grade. They did everything they had to do, Clark. They went to the camps. They played on elite teams. They had captain's practices on Sundays. And after falling short a year ago, this season 2009 would be their last chance. And they have made the most of it. They will finish this season 20-1. Their only loss coming to Comsawag on an early April day. It means nothing now.
And all that hard work, determination, and sacrifices, it's all worth it.
What a great schedule they played. They beat Connecticut superpower Darien. They beat Cold Spring Harbor twice. They beat Long Island champion Sayville. They beat Catholic runner-up Chaminade. They beat Nassau champion Garden City. And when you look to the sidelines now on Manhasset, there are hugs, there are high fives, there is the recognition that in 2009 they came to Rochester and put on a show, and they are now New York State champions. Connor English, a legendary virtuoso performance, 9 goals. This one will be remembered for the rest of his life.
Will be our award ceremony.
What a moment, Clark. You've been on that field before. It's your buddies. It's the guys you sweat it out with, you practice, you go to school with, and the final game of their careers ends in a pile.
Those are the lasting memories. And for Lafayette, a team that just had all that offense but couldn't stop the Manhasset offensive Connor English. When Manhasset had the ball, they imposed their will.
Connor English gives a hug to Coach Cherry, and why not? What a day. What a performance. And with all due respect to my colleague Sam Rosen, when it comes to Connor English, this one will last a lifetime.